Thanks for joining us here on Short Game Pros. This week's video is coming from the heart as we are talking about raw emotion and what leads to frustration on the golf course. Today I'm going to go over a couple things that may help you keep your cool, or potentially it's something you want to share with your friend who needs to help keep his cool. Just here in my living room, just got back from playing a tournament up in Charleston. And usually I'm coaching, but a couple times a year I do get to go play. And one of the great things about playing is putting myself back in the position of the player and seeing some of the things that the player gets to go through. And even though I feel like I prepared for this event the best I could, even with everything going on with COVID, there's a lot of raw emotion playing tournament golf. There's plenty of times this weekend when I hit great shots and I loved it. And there was plenty of times where I was a bit frustrated. Thankfully, that didn't carry over to the next shot. So I wanted to share with you guys some of the things we used this weekend to not let that frustration from a single bad shot or something carry into that next shot. First thing we're going to talk about is expecting greatness while accepting everything. So throughout your round, you're going to hit good shots, you're going to hit great shots, and you're definitely going to hit bad shots. And we're going to hit penalty shots. I mean, tour players hit penalty shots. We're certainly going to have our fair share of penalty shots. And often if you make a bad swing, you're going to get a bad break. That's just the reality of it. So even though we're planning on hitting a great one, just being accepting of those misses will certainly help keep our cool on the golf course. Another thing I want to talk about is mentally committing to each shot. So it is easy not to mentally commit to the shot. It's easy to see a shot or see a number, pick a club, make a golf swing. But if you're not going through the same pre-shot routine and same mental commitment, whether you're visualizing the shot, you're seeing how high it goes, you're seeing the shape, you're seeing where it lands, you're seeing where it releases to, before you even hit it, if you can't mentally commit to that before you make the golf swing, you can't get too mad when you make that bad golf swing and you're not even sure where the ball goes. So simply by mentally preparing to hit that shot and committing to it, going through your regular pre-shot routine, can help with a lot of frustrations. Will also help to you accepting that bad shot as well. If you're not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe to this channel as we do come out with new content every Friday. And go ahead and message below if there's something you'd love to see me talk about. When you're walking to all your short game shots, take all the clubs you need. I mean, it seems like a given, but how often do we not take the clubs we need and then choose not to walk back and get the right one? Thankfully, I had a caddy this weekend to help me out with that. But if you take your standard, let's say, pitching wedge and sand wedge to go hit your shot, and it turns out you need a different club, go get the club. There's no shame in that, okay? Pace of play is not an issue with you just jogging back to your cart real quick to change clubs. Because I'm pretty sure if you hit a bad shot simply because you hit the wrong club, especially when you knew you had the wrong club, that's definitely going to lead to you losing your cool. So take all the clubs you need and run back to your cart if you need another one. Next thing we got to talk about is staying patient. And this one was definitely one that got me in my first round this weekend in the tournament. So we just need to stay patient regardless of what's happening around us. So it could be a matter of you're driving it great all day and you start missing greens. Stay patient in the fact that, hey, you're hitting great tee shots. You will start hitting greens. For me, it was simply I hit a lot of greens. I hit 16 greens in my first round, and I was really struggling reading the grain on the greens. The greens were in great shape, but there was a lot of grain. And even though I thought I was hitting great putts, I wasn't making them. If I had let those missed putts carry over and for me to lose my cool, then I certainly wouldn't have been able to continue the process and keep hitting great shots and giving myself great opportunities to score. So stay patient and know that your hard work will pay off. Even if in that given moment, you're tending to want to be frustrated or get mad, take a deep breath, stay patient, and know that you will be successful. That next hole is just a couple steps away. Next thing I'd love to talk about is sticking to the game plan. Jack Nicklaus talked about how whatever swing he had on the range, he would take to the golf course. And whether that's hitting a draw or hitting a cut, hitting it straight, whatever that is on the range, go play with it. And whatever that swing thought is, stick to that swing thought. It's so easy to get warmed up and maybe you're playing a cut and then you make one bad swing on the golf course. You can't change the game plan. I mean, if the game plan is a feeling that you're getting in your downswing, if it's a setup cue, if it's, sticking to looking at shots that all work right to left, don't change that game plan to try to hit a perfect shot or to try to fix every little error where you're on the golf course, because it's not going to work. If your shot is a high draw and you don't have a high cut, don't try to play the high cut just because you think you need to hit it close on that hole. Stick to what you're good at. Stick to that swing thought that you've been committing to, and that will definitely lead to some good results for you throughout your round. Next up here, why are you playing golf? And let's have that be the focus as opposed to just the score, right? So I know that my brother, when he goes out and plays golf, his main goal is to have as much fun as possible in either the 9 holes or the 18 holes that he's out there. Whether it's walking 9 holes after work or playing in a charity scramble. I mean, the goal is simply to have fun. And so for him, a missed shot does not bother him the way it may bother other people. If you're playing in your weekend game, and sure, it's 2-on-2 and you hit a bad shot, okay, you have your, couple steps to walk it off. Tiger talked about when his dad would teach him that if he hit a bad shot, he had 3 steps to get over it, and then after that, he had to start focusing on the next shot. And so for you, I'd say don't just focus on the next shot after those 3 steps. Focus on why you're out there. If you're out there to have as much fun as possible with your kid, do that. Don't get caught up in the fact that you hit one in the lake. If you're out there teaching maybe your husband or wife how to play golf, don't get caught up in your game and your missed putt. Your goal that day was to share with them the game you love. If you're playing with a coworker and your goal is sales, well, heck, you better not be too worried about what your golf game looks like, because your goal that day is to sell and to close the deal. So just remember, when you're out there, why are you playing? And let that be the focus. That's always a good way to reset and keep your cool on the golf course, is just reminding yourself, why are you playing golf and why are you playing golf today? And then the last one, just to bring, I guess, some light on some tough situations that can happen out there, is say you are playing with somebody, or rather just something happens in the group that's uncomfortable. Maybe you see somebody make a questionable ruling or decision. Maybe there's a pace of play issue and one of your players is playing really slow. Maybe there's someone in your group who has poor etiquette. It's easy to get pent up anger or built up frustration over that player, and that will lead to you not keeping your cool on the golf course. Instead, just in between holes, address it, nip it in the butt, have that tough conversation, have that rumble with that individual, and get past it. Because carrying that frustration against your playing partner will certainly help you lose your cool faster. I hope these are a few things that you guys can implement into your game so that you can stay focused, have more fun, remember why you're out there, whether it's for the enjoyment of the score, but either way, by keeping your cool, you will certainly score lower. Thanks for being with us today. Hope you guys have a great weekend.